Episode 6, Binding the Darkness. The night of the full moon draped the city in an ethereal glow. Inside the hidden chamber, a tense anticipation crackled in the air. Max, his face illuminated by the flickering torchlight, nervously adjusted the various instruments he'd managed to cobble together based on the ancient texts. Eleanor stood beside Amelia, the headpiece, a delicate gold serpent entwined with an emerald eye, glinting in her hand. Amelia, her expression a mix of apprehension and determination, donned the headpiece. It felt surprisingly warm against her skin, a strange energy coursing through her veins. Facing the obsidian sarcophagus, they positioned the Eye of Ra, a massive emerald jewel pulsating with an otherworldly light. With a deep breath, Amelia began to chant the incantation, her voice amplified by the ancient headpiece, resonating through the chamber like a forgotten melody. The air crackled with unseen energy, the dust motes danced wildly, the flickering torches casting grotesque shadows on the walls. A low hum filled the chamber, growing steadily louder as the eye responded to Amelia's call. Suddenly, the sarcophagus lid creaked open with a terrifying groan. A dark mist, swirling with a malevolent energy, erupted from within, tendrils reaching out like grasping claws. Eleanor and Max stumbled back, fear momentarily gripping their hearts. Amelia, however, remained resolute. Her eyes glowed with an emerald light, the power of the headpiece coursing through her. With a final, amplified cry, she chanted the final verse of the incantation. The chamber pulsed with blinding light. The malevolent mist writhed in agony, its screams echoing with a chilling despair. Slowly, the light receded, revealing the chamber once more. Silence descended, heavy and thick. The Eye of Ra, its emerald glow dulled, lay dormant on the pedestal. The sarcophagus lid remained open, but the darkness was gone, replaced by an unsettling emptiness. Eleanor cautiously approached the sarcophagus. Peering inside, she saw nothing but a layer of dust and forgotten memories. The entity, whatever it was, had been bound, trapped within the confines of the sarcophagus. Relief washed over them, quickly followed by a sobering realization. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. The prophecy spoke of a coming darkness, and they had only managed to delay its return. Amelia, the headpiece still adorning her brow, turned towards them, her eyes filled with a newfound understanding. "We have to learn more," she said, her voice firm. "About the Order of the Serpent, about the darkness we just contained. We can't let this happen again." Eleanor nodded, her gaze flickering to the Eye of Ra. This powerful artifact couldn't be left unguarded. "We need to decide what happens to it," she said. "It can't remain hidden here." A long discussion ensued. Finally, they decided to entrust the Eye of Ra to the Museum of Antiquities, informing the curator of its true nature and the importance of its safekeeping. The headpiece, after careful deliberation, they agreed to keep within the Davenport family, a reminder of their responsibility and a symbol of their newfound purpose. The coming days were a blur of activity. They contacted Lady Lavinia, explaining the ordeal and her safe release. News of the ghostly sightings at the museum died down, replaced by whispers of a mysterious donation and a revamped security system. Eleanor, Max, and Amelia formed an unlikely alliance, their roles evolving from investigator, tech whiz, and reluctant descendant to protectors of a hidden legacy. They delved deeper into the secrets of the Order of the Serpent, determined to understand the darkness they had encountered and prepare for whatever might come next. One evening, as they sat in the dimly lit backroom of Max's bookstore, surrounded by maps and ancient scrolls, Amelia looked up and smiled. "Thank you," she said, her voice sincere, "for believing in me, for helping me navigate all of this." Eleanor offered a small smile in return. "We're in this together now," she replied, the weight of their newfound responsibility settling on her shoulders. "And who knows," she added with a touch of humor, "maybe this is a new chapter for my business." Investigator of the occult, Max chuckled, a nervous glint in his eyes. "Just as long as it doesn't involve any more haunted funhouses," he joked. Amelia's smile faded slightly. "There's still so much we don't know," she said, her gaze flickering to a dusty book on ancient prophecies. "But for now, at least," she continued, a hint of defiance in her voice, "we've bought ourselves some time." As the last, Episode 7, echoes of a serpent. Months had passed since the events at the hidden chamber. The Davenport mansion stood silent once more, a monument to a past shrouded in secrecy. Eleanor sat in her office, the familiar clutter offering a sense of normalcy. A knock on the door startled her. It was Amelia, her face etched with a familiar mix of determination and worrying. "We have a problem," Amelia declared, her voice urgent. Eleanor braced herself, a feeling of dread settling in her stomach. "What is it?" "The Museum of Antiquities," Amelia replied. "There's been a break-in." A cold sweat prickled Eleanor's skin. The Eye of Ro, was it gone? They rushed to the museum, the once grand halls now a scene of disarray. Glass shards glittered on the floor, and an empty display case mocked them. The curator, a nervous man with trembling hands, explained that the security system had been disabled with an almost alarming ease. There were no signs of forced entry, he stammered. "It's like the thieves knew exactly what they were doing, and exactly where to go." Eleanor's mind raced. This wasn't a random robbery. Someone, or something, knew about the eye and its power. Their investigation led them back to the library, the dusty haven of ancient secrets. There, hidden amongst the towering shelves, they found a symbol scrawled on a dusty scroll, a stylized serpent, an eerie echo of the Order of the Serpent. "It has to be them," Amelia whispered, her voice laced with a hint of fear. "But why?" Max, who had been meticulously examining the crime scene photos on his laptop, spoke up. "There's something else," he said, pointing to a faint image captured by a security camera. "A blurry figure, just outside the museum entrance, it looks like." He hesitated. "It looks like you, Amelia." Amelia's eyes widened in shock. Denial flickered across her face, but it was quickly replaced by a grim realization. "It wasn't me," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "But whoever it was, they used my image." The pieces began to fall into place. Someone, perhaps a rogue faction within the Order of the Serpent, had discovered their involvement with the Eye. They had used Amelia's likeness to gain access to the museum, to steal the artifact for their own nefarious purposes. A sense of urgency gripped them. They needed to find the Eye before it fell into the wrong hands. But where to start? Their search led them deep into the city's underbelly, following whispers and rumors of a clandestine auction, a gathering of the city's most notorious black market dealers. Disguised and on edge, they infiltrated the dimly lit warehouse, the air thick with smoke and the stench of desperation. Their eyes scanned the crowd, searching for any sign of the Eye or the mysterious figure who impersonated Amelia. Finally, in a secluded corner, they spotted a man shrouded in a dark cloak, holding aloft a pulsating green jewel, the stolen Eye of Ro. A tense standoff ensued. Eleanor, drawing on her years of experience, launched a distraction, creating chaos within the warehouse. In the ensuing confusion, Max, with his nimble fingers, managed to disable the security system, plunging the room into darkness. The fight was a blur of punches and adrenaline. When the dust settled, the man was gone. The Eye of Ro vanished. Exhausted and bruised, they regrouped in the shadows. "We lost it," Amelia muttered, her voice heavy with despair. Eleanor, however, wasn't ready to give up. "Not yet," she declared, a spark of determination lighting up her eyes. "There has to be a way to track it." Back at Max's bookstore, they meticulously reviewed the security footage from the warehouse. Max, his brow furrowed in concentration, noticed a faint symbol etched on the man's cloak, the same serpent symbol they had seen in the library. "It's a clue," Max exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. "This symbol. It could lead us to them." With renewed purpose, they delved back into their research, deciphering ancient texts and scouring forgotten corners of the internet. The symbol, they discovered, belonged to a splinter group within the Order of the Serpent, a radical sect obsessed with wielding the Eye's power for their own twisted agenda. Their trail led them to a hidden location, an abandoned monastery nestled deep within the city's outskirts. As they approached the crumbling structure, an unsettling feeling washed over them. This was no ordinary place. It emanated an aura of dark energy. With cautious steps, they infiltrated the monastery, cobwebs brushed,